Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. The Sibanye-Stillwater strike is still ongoing, with the company offering a 5% profit share to workers in an attempt to settle the wage strike at its gold operation. Now, the unions are not in favor of this offer, and the settlement is yet to be reached. Workers who downed tools on the 9th of March are demanding an increase of 1,000 rand a month for 3 years. For more on this, we're joined by AMCU President Joseph Mathunjwa. Very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. It's been 12 weeks of strike action. Sibanye-Stillwater has put an offer on the table. Give us a breakdown of this new revised offer that's been put forward.
Good evening to you and to your viewers, and thank you for the opportunity. Yes, the offer that was put forward through our negotiators was 800 rand for 3 years, and then the 4th year will be 900 and the 5th year will be 1,000 rand. And subsequent to that, then they propose a share scheme, profit sharing, which will be for 3 years. And then we took it to our members today, which is AMCU and NUM from all the branches, region, districts, which is Free State and West Rand. Indeed, it was well attended. And the workers, they've rejected that offer. They said they want their 1,000 rand.
What's your biggest concern around this deal, as the workers have shown you that, of course, has shown Sibanye perhaps, that they will not accept this? I imagine that you would have to have considered what accepting it would mean, as you speak about the profit-sharing scheme, what it would mean if the gold price dropped.
Yeah, I mean, those markets no one can predict, but here we are dealing with legacy issue. If you look at the basket inflation, the basket inflation, if I'm calling it correctly,
yes,
the petrol is going high, cost of living is very high. And then with this 800, what can you do? And this 800 is subject to taxation at the end of the day. And thirdly, we need to remind ourselves that we are dealing with legacy issue here. So any increase that is based on inflation, we will never close the gap of inequality, especially the gap in salaries in South Africa. Hence, we don't really subscribe to inflation increment, because these structures were meant for black workers in South Africa, of which was never tempered or disrupted by anyone. So if we are going to continue using the inflation as a barometer to close the gap, I don't think we'll ever close the gap of inequality in South Africa.
Where does this now put you in terms of your negotiations, especially as we consider in what was perhaps an extraordinary remark coming out of Parliament on Thursday, where Minister Gwede Mantashe threatened Sibanye-Stillwater with the removal of its mining right, because the company, of course, in its 12th week of this bitter and prolonged strike, is no longer engaged in gold mining activities. Did you see this coming?
Yeah, I mean, we've been calling for that for many years. Actually, the government is very late. They should have just revoked that license, giving to our black brothers in South Africa, which are very competent. They are engineers. They are the one who are running all these mines for the Western powers. I think it's high time that we revoke that license and give it to our black brothers. They are very capable. You've got black CEOs, which are not even earning 300 million, which they will be sensitive to the plight of the people in South Africa.
You say you've been calling for it, and as we take a look at the state of the economy, and Sibanye essentially being the world's largest producer of platinum group metals and the largest employer right now with over 84,000 employees, most of them in South Africa, what would this now look like should a takeover or the rights now being taken away in terms of stability in the sector, especially at a time that we're facing now?
would you please raise your voice a little bit? I've got a little bit of challenge to hear you.
Yes, sure. I was saying that Sibanye is essentially the world's largest producer of platinum group metals and also the largest employer in the mining industry, as we factor in around 84,000 employees, most of them who are in South Africa. What then would the decision by the minister or the threat mean to the mining industry, especially considering the state of the country's economy and the vulnerability of a lot of South Africans at the moment?
I mean, always the workers are in the threat. Remember, these mines, they retrench willy-nilly whenever they don't make profit. So there will be no threat. I mean, they will be taking what belongs to us. Sibanye does not come from heaven. It's not a divine company that coming from heaven given to us. No, it's a company formed by human beings, by mortal men. So therefore, this notion that if Sibanye will revoke the license, there will be poverty in the country, there is nothing like that. We are already swimming in the sea of poverty currently with them. As you have seen yourself and experienced, one man walloping 300 million, whereas 30,000 workers, they asked for 360 million for 12 months. So therefore, I mean, that argument, I mean, doesn't stand the test of time. So the point is, these mines, they should be nationalized and have a proper government and accountability. These minerals does not belong to the white monopoly capital, foreign direct investors. These minerals belong to all of us in South Africa. We cannot have such huge blessed country with minerals God gave us and only benefit the few. And then we are scared that if their license are revoked, the market will be in turmoil. I mean, Europe, what we need to understand, we Africans, especially the whole continent, we don't need Europe. Europe need us more than we need them. At the end of the day, we are blessed with a good weather. We are blessed with minerals. Everything God gave us is just leadership at the end of the day. So, I mean, with these 44 countries of this continent, we are well blessed. We are well blessed. If we can just position ourselves and be okay and serve the humanity, I'm telling you, we'll be the richest nations. Why other countries where they are blessed with oil, their nations are so wealthy? What about us? We've got gold, we've got copper, we've got iron. The list is endless, but we are the poor of the poorest. We are unequal society in the world. Why? It's a self-inflicted poverty.
As you and I speak, the strike is still ongoing. Where to from now?
Now we just have to continue with the strike. We'll intensify. And I think it's a good news when you hear the minister saying that they're going to revoke the license. Though there will be other companies that will be prepared, I mean, to take over. And if Harmony Gold, Mr. Steenkamp from Harmony Gold, were able to pay all their workers during the 2 years of the pandemic, pay them full salary, and at the end of the day, give their workers a best, increment, 1,000 rand with other associated benefits. And then you come with Sibanye, Neil Froneman, who failed to pay his employees full salary for the past 2 years while we were ravaged by this pandemic, coronavirus. At the end of the day, he managed to scoop 300 million. What does it tell you? So the workers are worse off with Neil Froneman, with Sibanye.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for weighing in on this. AMCU President Joseph Mathunjwa saying that the Sibanye-Stillwater strike will continue, also reacting to Minister Gwede Mantashe's remarks of the mining license being revoked.